You ever notice how teenagers think nothing bad can happen to them? Like they walk around with this invisible armor made of caffeine, playlists, and pure denial. Yeah, that was Jason. He was 16, a little awkward, a lot sarcastic, and permanently convinced that horror movies were just bad decisions in HD. His words, not mine. And yeah, he loved to make fun of scary stories. Until he got his own. So it started on a Wednesday night. He was home alone. His parents were at some work dinner thing, and his little sister was staying over at a friend's house. Jason's doing what every teenager does when they're home alone, pretending to study while actually scrolling on his phone and eating cereal straight from the box. The house was quiet in that weird way where you can hear your own heartbeat if you stop moving. But it didn't bother him. He liked quiet. Until midnight. He's lying in bed, half asleep, when his phone buzzes. Private number. Now that alone would make most people think twice, but Jason? Nah. He smirks. Thinks it's one of his friends trying to mess with him. He answers. And this voice, low, flat, kind of wrong, says, "I'm outside your window." Jason just stares at the phone, waiting for the punchline. Nothing. No laughter, no background noise, not even breathing. Just silence. So he does what any dumb, confident teenager would do. He laughs. Says, "Yeah, sure you are," and hangs up. Then he throws the phone on his nightstand and rolls over like it's no big deal. But when he closes his eyes, he gets this prickly feeling. Like the room's too still. Like the air itself is waiting. He tells himself he's being dramatic and pulls the blanket over his head. Eventually, he falls asleep. Next morning, everything's normal. He forgets about it. Until the next night. Midnight. Phone buzzes again. Private number. And this time, Jason hesitates. Just a second. But he answers. Same voice. Same sentence. "I'm outside your window." Now he's not laughing. He sits up, stares at the curtains like they're about to move. He's not even breathing. Then his brain kicks in like, "Dude, calm down. It's probably Tyler or Marcus or one of those idiots." So he walks over to the window, yanks the curtain open. Nothing. Front yard's empty. The street's quiet. Not even a raccoon in sight. He sighs, rolls his eyes, and goes back to bed, but that feeling's still there. Like he didn't win. Next morning at school, he tells his friends. They laugh their heads off. Tyler's like, "Bro, you sound paranoid." Marcus says, "You sure it wasn't just your reflection? You scare easy, man." And Jason plays along, because he's not about to be the guy who admits he's actually scared. But when night 3 rolls around, he's ready. He sets an alarm for 11:55. Sits up in bed, phone in one hand, baseball bat in the other. Because apparently, that's the line between brave and stupid. At exactly midnight, it rings. Private number. He answers on the first buzz. And before he can even say anything, "I'm outside your window." Jason grips the bat, walks to the window again. He's shaking a little, but he pushes the curtain open and looks down. Still nothing. Then his phone buzzes again. Another call. Same number. He answers. And this time the voice says, "Why'd you move the curtain?" Jason freezes. His brain can't keep up. The window's right in front of him, wide open to the dark yard. He can't see anyone. But someone, whoever it is, can see him. He slams the curtain shut, locks the window, and spends the rest of the night sitting on his bed with every light in the room on. Next morning, he looks like he hasn't slept in a week. His friends tease him, obviously. "So, where's your mystery stalker?" Tyler says. Jason doesn't answer. Because here's the thing, he tried calling the number back. It didn't exist. By Friday night, he's on edge. His parents are home this time, thank God, so he figures if the guy calls again, at least he's not alone. He keeps his phone plugged in on his nightstand. Midnight comes. He waits. And waits. No call. He actually laughs, this nervous, relieved kind of laugh, like maybe the whole thing's over. He turns off his lamp, closes his eyes. And then his phone buzzes. But it's not a call this time. It's a text. One line. "Why'd you turn off the light?" Jason drops the phone like it's burning him. His heart's hammering. He flips the light back on, stares around the room, checks the lock on the window again, even pulls his desk in front of it like that'll help. He doesn't sleep at all that night. The next day, his mom asks why he looks like death warmed over. He says he's just tired. Doesn't mention the messages. He figures if he ignores it, maybe it'll stop. Spoiler, it doesn't. Saturday night, the call comes again. He doesn't answer this time. Lets it ring. But it rings again. And again. And again. He finally picks up and yells, "What do you want?" The voice doesn't answer. Just repeats, slower this time. I'm outside your window. Jason's done pretending now. He runs to his parents' room, bangs on the door, shoves the phone in his dad's hand. But when his dad answers, the line's dead. No sound. No voice. Nothing. Jason's parents assume it's some prank. They even call the phone company, but the records show nothing. No incoming calls at those times. It's like they never happened. At that point, I'd be moving to another state. But Jason? No, he doubles down. Sets up his phone to record the next call. Because of course he does. Sunday night, 11:59. He's sitting in bed, camera app open, hands shaking. Midnight. Phone rings. Private number. He hits record and answers. Before the voice even speaks, he hears breathing. Not just breathing, close breathing. Like through teeth. And then, I'm outside your window. Jason says, okay, then show yourself, and bolts for the curtains, slamming them open. But instead of seeing anyone, his phone slips from his hand. Because what he sees is his own reflection in the glass. And behind it, just behind his shoulder, a shadow. He spins around, but the room's empty. He looks back at the window, shadow's gone. He rewinds the recording. Plays it back. You can hear the breathing, the voice, the words. But here's the weird part. After the voice says, I'm outside your window, there's another sound. Soft. Almost like a laugh. But the laugh isn't on the phone. It's behind the mic. Jason deletes the video. Doesn't tell anyone. He just stops answering unknown numbers altogether. By Monday, he's twitchy quiet. His mom asks if he's okay. He says he's fine. At school, he looks like he's scanning every window, every reflection. And that night, he doesn't even try to sleep. He sits there, watching the minutes crawl toward midnight, hoping the phone will stay silent. But when it hits 12 o'clock, his screen lights up. Private number. He stares at it, doesn't touch it, lets it ring. Then it stops. And a second later, he hears a knock. 3 soft knocks. On his window. That's where I'll stop. Because you're leaning forward now, right? Good. You should be. Because that's just the start. The final night, the one after that, that's when the voice got closer. And this time it wasn't lying. So, 3 soft knocks. Right on his window. Jason said the sound wasn't even loud. That's what messed with him the most. It wasn't the bang 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 horror movie kind of thing. It was quiet. Polite, almost. Like whoever, or whatever, was out there didn't need to be loud to get noticed. He froze. Every muscle locked. His phone was still in his hand, screen glowing against his face. He didn't even breathe. Just stared at the curtain like it was about to start moving on its own. Then the phone buzzed again. Text message. 1 line. Why aren't you opening it? Jason almost dropped the phone. He wanted to yell for his parents, but his voice just wouldn't come out. So he did the next best thing. He grabbed the baseball bat from beside the bed and backed toward the door. He whispered, Dad. Nothing. Dad. Still nothing. He ran out of the room, down the hall, heart going so fast it hurt. He reached his parents' door and pushed it open. Empty. Both of them gone. No note. No car in the driveway. Later he found out they'd gotten a call from the restaurant. Someone had accidentally double-charged their card, and they'd gone out to fix it. Right around midnight. Of course. So Jason's standing there in the hallway, completely alone, holding a bat like that's going to save him from a ghost or serial killer, or whatever this was. Then he hears it again. Knock. Same rhythm. He creeps back toward his room, because obviously he's a genius. Peeks around the corner, half expecting to see a face pressed against the glass. But no. The curtain's still closed. The knocking stops. He waits. A minute passes. 2. Then, tap tap tap, on the other side of the room. The other window. He whirls around, and this time he yells. Just pure panic. Who are you? Nothing. He rips the curtain open. Empty. The phone buzzes again. Another text. Wrong window. Now at this point, any sane person would grab their keys, run outside, find a neighbor, anything. But Jason's not thinking straight. He's running on adrenaline and pride. The combination that gets most horror movie characters killed before the 20-minute mark. So he does something stupid. He texts back. Who is this? The typing bubbles appear. Disappear. Appear again. Then, come see. And Jason, because he apparently has a death wish, actually walks to the front door. He grips the bat in one hand, phone in the other, flips the lock, opens the door just enough to peek out. Cold air hits his face. Streets empty. No cars, no people. Then, from the dark, his phone buzzes. I can see you. He slams the door shut, so hard the frame rattles. Locks it, bolts it, even pushes a chair under the handle like that'll help. He backs away, shaking, trying to convince himself it's just a prank. But here's the thing, his phone's camera light suddenly flicks on. He didn't touch it. It just turns on by itself and points straight at the door. He panics and throws it on the couch like it's cursed. The flashlight goes out. Silence. A few seconds later, 3 slow knocks again. Same spot. And a whisper. He swears he heard this. "Let me in, Jason." He loses it. Runs upstairs, slams the bedroom door, locks it, crawls under the blanket like that's going to stop anything. He stays there until the first bit of sunlight creeps through the window. Morning finally comes. He goes downstairs. Front door's still locked. Everything exactly how he left it. For a second, he convinces himself he dreamt it. That he just got freaked out by the calls and imagined the rest. Then he checks his phone. There are 6 missed calls. All at 12 a.m. All private number. And 1 photo message. The thumbnail's black. He almost deletes it, but curiosity wins. He taps it open. It's a picture of his house. Taken from outside. From right in front of his window. Jason doesn't even remember dropping his phone, but he hears it hit the floor. He grabs his backpack, throws in some clothes, and bikes to Tyler's place. Now, Tyler thinks Jason's losing it. But when he shows him the picture, Tyler goes pale. "Dude, that's your house," he says. Jason nods. "Yeah, no kidding." They decide to call the cops. The cops come, take the phone, check the metadata. Get this, no trace. No number, no timestamp, nothing. The file just exists. The officer says, probably some kind of glitch or spam thing. Jason just stares at him. A spam thing, sure. A spam ghost. He spends the rest of the day at Tyler's, trying not to think about it. They play video games, eat cold pizza, pretend life is normal. And for a while it works. Until midnight. Jason's phone buzzes again. Private number. Tyler's right there when it happens. Jason looks at him. "Answer it." Tyler shakes his head. "No way, man." Jason slides the phone across the table. "Come on. You think I'm making it up? Answer it." Tyler sighs, picks it up, and says, "Hello." And that voice, low, flat, same one says, "Tell Jason to come home." Tyler drops the phone like it bit him. They both stare at it. Then it buzzes again. New text. From the same number. "You left your window open." Jason's up, grabbing his jacket, swearing under his breath. Tyler yells, "Don't go back there." But Jason's already out the door. Because that's what guilt does. It makes you feel like you have to fix it. When he gets home, the house is dark. Parents' car's back, lights off. He steps inside, whispering their names. No answer. He heads up the stairs, one slow step at a time. The air feels heavy, like the whole house is holding its breath. At the top of the stairs, his bedroom door's open. He knows he locked it. He walks in. The curtains pulled back. The window's wide open. He steps closer. Cold air hits his face again. The yard's empty. Then, from downstairs, the phone rings. Landline this time. He stares toward the door. Rings again. And again. He goes down, picks it up, says, "Hello." The voice answers, calm as ever. "Turn around." He turns. Nothing. Then, on the other end of the line, he hears breathing. The same close breathing as before. And right behind him, real breathing. He spins, swings the bat he grabbed off the floor, connects with air. Nothing's there. The sound stops. The line goes dead. Jason stands there shaking, trying to process what's real. Then his mom calls from the stairs, half asleep. "Jason? What are you doing up?" He almost cries from relief. He tells her about the calls, the photo, the voice. She listens, but you can tell she's halfway between worried and thinking he's overtired. She says, "We'll change your number tomorrow. Go to bed." He nods, pretends to agree. But when she goes back upstairs, he stays awake on the couch, every light in the living room on, waiting for that phone to ring again. It doesn't. Next day, Monday, he goes to school. He's pale, eyes red, exhausted. Marcus teases him about ghost girlfriends, but Jason doesn't even respond. That night, he tries something new. He turns his phone off completely, leaves it in the kitchen, tells himself if the thing can't reach him, maybe it'll stop. And it works. Kind of. At midnight, no call. No text. No knocks. He actually starts to relax. But around 1 in the morning, he wakes up to a weird sound. A voice. Not from his phone. From the hall. Whispering his name. Jason. He sits up, heart pounding. The voice is quiet, but it's moving, getting closer. He reaches for the lamp, flicks it on, and the whisper stops. He gets up, steps into the hallway. Empty. Then his phone, still in the kitchen, still off, starts ringing. He walks down, slow, every step echoing. The screen's black, but the sound's real, loud, clear, impossible. He picks it up. The ringtone stops. And then, faintly, from right outside the window above the sink. "I'm outside your window." Jason stumbles backward, drops the phone again. It doesn't break this time. It just sits there, dark, silent, innocent. He calls the police. They come, search the property, find nothing. No footprints, no signs of forced entry. The officer looks at him like he's losing his mind. When they leave, his dad says, "We'll get security cameras tomorrow." Jason nods. He doesn't sleep. Just waits for morning again. Next day, they install cameras. Every angle covered. He even gets motion alerts sent straight to his phone. That night, he's ready. He's sitting on the couch, watching the live feed, eyes burning from not blinking. Midnight hits. Nothing. No alerts. No calls. He actually starts laughing. Like, finally, it's over. Then he gets a notification. Motion detected. Inside camera, living room. Jason stares at the feed. The camera is facing the couch. And in the footage, right behind where he's sitting, there's a figure. He turns around. Nothing. Looks back at the phone. The figure's closer now. Almost over his shoulder. He drops the phone. That's where he blacked out. When his parents found him the next morning, he was on the floor, pale, breathing fast, whispering something over and over. They said it sounded like, "It finally came inside." And that's the point in the story where everyone around the fire goes real quiet, right? Because that was the second to last night. One more to go. The final call. The night when the voice wasn't outside anymore. So Jason wakes up on the living room floor the next morning, and for a second, he doesn't even remember falling asleep there. Then it all comes flooding back. The camera, the motion alert, the shadow. He sits up, checks the phone. The footage is gone. Like not camera glitched, gone, completely erased. Files wiped clean. The system log even says no motion was detected. And that's when he knows he's not just being pranked. Whatever this is, it knows he's watching. He decides to skip school that day, because sorry I can't make algebra, I'm being haunted by a voice on my phone, doesn't play great in the attendance office. He spends the morning double-checking every lock, every window. At one point, he even puts duct tape over the camera lens on his phone. By afternoon, he's starting to calm down. Tired but calmer. He's got this plan now: stay with a friend, sleep at their place, let his parents deal with the weird calls. Problem solved, right? Except when he goes to grab his backpack, his phone buzzes. No number. Just the word unknown. And he stares at it, like maybe if he doesn't blink, it'll go away. Then it rings. He doesn't answer. He shouldn't answer. But, Jason, he does. "Hello," he says, voice shaking. And the voice, flat, familiar, replies, "You shouldn't have turned the camera off." He drops the phone. Like full-body flinch. You ever see someone panic so fast it looks rehearsed? That's him. He runs upstairs, slams the door, locks it, presses his back against it like that'll hold. The phone's still ringing downstairs. Then it stops. Silence again. He sits there for a long time. Eventually, he decides to call Tyler. Tyler picks up on the third ring. "Bro," Jason says, "it happened again. I saw it. There was something behind me." Tyler sighs. "Man, I don't know. Maybe your brain's just tired. You've barely slept all week." Jason laughs. Not a funny laugh. "You think I'm hallucinating a voice that knows my name? That knows what camera I turned off?" Tyler pauses. "Okay, yeah. That's bad." They agree to meet at Jason's house that night. Tyler's going to sleep over, backup plan. 2 sets of eyes. Safety in numbers. You know how that always goes in horror stories. Fast forward to about 10:30. The guys are on the couch, playing video games, acting like everything's normal. Jason's parents are upstairs. He's got his phone plugged in, sitting on the coffee table, camera pointed at the window. They make it to midnight. No call. No text. No motion alert. Jason actually starts to smile. "See? Maybe it's done." Tyler nods. "Maybe." Then they hear something. Not from the phone. From outside. A soft scraping sound, like nails dragging down the siding. Tyler mutes the TV. They both freeze. It happens again. SKKK. SKKK, slow and steady, moving along the wall. Jason whispers, "Back door." They tiptoe to the kitchen, because apparently whispering helps against supernatural intruders. They stop near the sliding glass door. The backyard's dark, completely still. Then tap. On the glass. They both jump back. Jason fumbles for the light switch, flicks it on. The motion light outside flashes to life, and there's nothing. No one. Tyler's like, nope. Nope. I'm done. I'm calling the cops. But before he can, Jason's phone buzzes again. Private number. Tyler looks at him. Don't answer. Jason whispers, what if it's the cops calling back? Tyler says, from a private number? Jason hesitates. Picks it up. The voice comes through instantly. I told you. I'm inside now. Both of them just freeze. Like their brains can't catch up. Then, behind them, a loud thud. They spin around. The hallway lights flickering. Jason's mom yells from upstairs, what's going on? Jason can't even speak. He's just staring at the staircase. Because there's this sound coming from the bottom, like soft breathing. Not heavy. Just steady. Tyler grabs the bat again. Apparently it's his emotional support weapon at this point, and whispers, who's there? The breathing stops. The house goes dead silent. Then Jason's phone lights up again. A new text. Don't look behind you. You know that feeling where your whole spine just tightens? Yeah, that. Jason turns anyway. Slowly. And right at the edge of the living room, half in the shadows, he sees a shape. Not clear. Just tall. Still. He blinks and it's gone. They both bolt up the stairs. Jason's parents are awake now, confused, yelling questions. Jason's screaming. There's someone in the house. His dad grabs the phone, calls the police. They come again, do another sweep. Nothing. No signs of forced entry. Every door still locked. But they do find something. On the living room floor. Right where Jason dropped his phone, muddy footprints. Bare feet. Small like a child's. The cop shines his flashlight, frowns, says, could be old. Jason shakes his head. We mopped yesterday. They leave. Tell the family to get some rest. Which is maybe the worst advice you can give someone who just saw phantom footprints in their house. So now it's 3 a.m. Everyone's in the living room because no one wants to sleep alone. Jason's dad has a golf club. His mom's clutching a coffee mug like it's a weapon. Tyler's sitting there whispering, dude, I told you to burn your phone. Jason says, that's not going to help. Tyler goes, yeah? Then what will? And Jason says, quietly, I think it wants me to see it. They all just stare at him. Like, dude, what? But he looks dead serious. He stands up, grabs his phone, and says, if it's watching, fine. I'll watch back. He opens the camera app again. Slowly pans across the room. Nothing. Turns toward the kitchen. Still nothing. Then he aims it at the hallway. On the screen, faint, flickering in the grainy camera light, there's a face. It's not detailed. More like a smudge shaped like one. Eyes that aren't really eyes. Mouth open. Jason lowers the phone. The hallway's empty. He lifts it again. The face is closer. His mom gasps. His dad grabs the phone and slams it face down on the counter like that'll erase it. And then the front door unlocks. By itself. You know that sound, the click of a deadbolt sliding? Yeah, that. In a completely silent house. Jason's dad runs to it, locks it again, yells, everyone upstairs. They all go, slam the bedroom door, push furniture in front of it. Nobody talks. They just listen. And at exactly midnight, Jason's phone, still downstairs, starts ringing. They can hear it through the floor. Buzz. 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 Then silence. Then, faintly, 3 soft knocks on the upstairs window. Jason's mom starts praying under her breath. His dad whispers, don't move. Jason's sitting on the edge of the bed, shaking, staring at the curtain. He whispers, it's not outside. Tyler hisses, don't start that again. And then the curtain moves. Just a ripple. Like a hand brushed against it from the inside. That's when Tyler loses it, bolts for the door, yanks it open, nothing there. He turns back, pale, shaking. There's nobody. Jason's dad rushes out into the hall, flipping every light on. Jason follows. All the lights flicker once, then go dark. Power cuts out. Total black. For a second, all Jason can hear is his own heartbeat. Then, his phone lights up again on the hallway table downstairs. He can see the glow from the top of the stairs. The screen says, incoming call, private number. He walks down the stairs, one step at a time. Everyone's shouting behind him, but he's not listening anymore. He picks up the phone, brings it to his ear. The voice says, calm as ever. I told you I was inside. Jason whispers, what do you want? The voice pauses, then says, to come closer. He drops the phone. The line goes dead. The screen cracks on the floor. The lights flicker back on. And there, reflected in the TV screen across the room, there's someone standing right behind him. He spins around. Empty. The reflection's gone. That was the third night. After that, Jason didn't stay home anymore. He crashed at Tyler's for the week, refused to touch his phone, barely spoke. His parents said he'd wake up sometimes in the middle of the night just staring at the wall, like he was listening for something. And by Friday, he looked wrecked. No sleep. Eyes sunken. Jumpy as hell. But he told Tyler he had to go back just one last time. Said he needed to make sure it was gone. Tyler begged him not to. Bro, it's not over. You know it's not over. Jason smiled, this tired little smile, and said, Yeah, I know. That night, Friday night, was the last call. The one where the voice didn't sound far away anymore. The one that came from right next to him. And that's where we stop, right? Right when the fire crackles louder and everyone leans in. Because the final part, that's not a story anymore. That's what happens when the voice finally keeps its promise. Okay, so here's how the last night went down. Friday. Windy, cold. One of those evenings where even the streetlights look nervous. Jason told Tyler he was just running home to grab some stuff. Half an hour, he said. You can even time me. Tyler tried to stop him, swore he'd go too, but Jason shook his head. It started with me, he said. It's gotta end with me. Which, sounds noble until you realize it's the exact sentence every horror movie protagonist says before everything goes wrong. He left around 10. Hoodie up, bike tires crunching over wet leaves. Tyler watched him go until he disappeared down the street, then texted, You alive yet? Jason replied with a thumbs-up emoji. That was the last message Tyler ever got from him. Jason got home to a house that didn't feel like his anymore. Lights on, but cold somehow. He yelled out for his parents, nothing. They'd gone to his aunt's, left a note on the counter, back in the morning. Love you. He laughed when he saw it, but it wasn't a happy laugh. More like, of course they're gone again. He looked around, and it was weird. Every shadow in the place seemed to be leaning his way. He grabbed his phone. Battery at 50%. He scrolled through the call log, blank. No private numbers, no timestamps, nothing. Like the whole week never happened. He opened the camera app again, pointed it at the window. Just his reflection. No face, no shadow. He whispered, You're done. You hear me? Then the screen flickered, glitched for a second. And text appeared across the top, letters forming like they were being typed live. I hear you. He froze. The words vanished. The camera app crashed. He tried to open it again, black screen. Then, from somewhere in the house, the phone started ringing. Not his. The landline. That old cordless thing his parents barely used anymore. It rang once. Twice. 3 times. He picked it up, voice shaking. Who is this? The same calm tone answered, right in his ear. I told you not to come back. Jason whispered, Why me? And the voice said, You answered. Every hair on his arm stood up. He hung up, backed away from the counter, heart pounding so hard he thought the sound might echo. Then, in the reflection of the microwave door, he saw it, someone standing behind him. He spun. Nothing there. He laughed, nervous, desperate. Okay, fine, you win. Whatever you are. I'm leaving. He grabbed his backpack, bolted for the front door, and froze, because the door was already open. Wind blowing in. Curtain moving slow like a breath. He stepped closer, called out, Hello. And his phone buzzed again. New text. Look up. He did. And there on the staircase landing, half in shadow, was a figure. Still. Watching. He blinked and it moved. Not fast. Just one slow step forward. Jason backed toward the door. Stay away from me. The figure tilted its head. Then another step. He turned and ran outside, straight into the streetlight glow. The neighborhood was silent, every window dark. He started pedaling his bike like his life depended on it, which, let's be honest, it probably did. Halfway down the block, the phone rang again. Private number. He ignored it. It rang again. And again. He shouted into the night, Leave me alone. It stopped. He slowed down, breathing hard. Looked around. Street empty. No cars. No sound but the wind. He exhaled, finally. Then a voice behind him said, Jason. He turned so fast he nearly fell off the bike. No one there. He looked down. His phone was glowing on the ground. He didn't even remember dropping it. He picked it up. Screen cracked, but still lit. One message on it. Check your window. He looked back toward his house, way down the street, and every window was dark except his. His bedroom light was on. And in that window a silhouette. He stared at it for a full minute, frozen. Then the light turned off. He pedaled back, because apparently self-preservation is optional. The whole ride, the phone kept buzzing in his pocket, vibrating like it was alive. When he reached the house, the door was closed again. He opened it, stepped inside. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. He whispered, "Hello." His phone buzzed. "Come upstairs." He shook his head, said out loud, "Not a chance." Then another message. "If you don't, I will." He should have run. He didn't. He climbed the stairs, slow, one at a time, the steps creaking under his shoes. At the top, his bedroom door was half open. He pushed it wider with the bat. The window was open again. Curtains moving. The phone buzzed one more time. "Turn around." He turned. And standing there, in the corner of the room, was himself. Same clothes, same face, same cracked phone glowing in the other hand. Except the eyes. The eyes were wrong. Too dark, too deep, like someone had drawn them on and forgot to stop. The double smiled. Said softly, "You left the window open." Jason dropped the bat. Tried to speak. Couldn't. The other him took a step forward, then another. And the last thing Jason heard before everything went black was the same voice whispering right next to his ear. "I told you I was inside." Next morning, Tyler biked over. Found the front door open, Jason's phone on the floor in the hallway. No Jason. Cops searched the place. No struggle, no footprints, no sign of a break-in. The only weird thing? Jason's phone, still recording. Last video was 15 seconds long. It shows the window curtains fluttering, then a shadow crossing the lens, and at the very end, Jason's voice whispering something. They turn the volume up to hear it. He says, "Don't answer." And that's it. That's the story. Swear on everything, it's true, or at least that's what Tyler swears. They tore the old house down a year later. Built condos there. Nice ones too. But sometimes people say their phones ring at midnight. Private number. And if they answer, the voice says the same thing, calm as ever. "I'm outside your window."